This is Online Journalism. My name is Xavier with an X. Today we're going to talk about putting your news together. Yes, sir. This is lesson number 4 of our journalism course. So, let's begin. Action! Okay, in previous lessons we learned that the news is tied to an audience because you have to know what are the desires and needs of your specific audience. It can be your community, it can be your school, it can be a particular group like stamp collectors, and you have to know your audience. Another thing we learned is that you have to be efficient in your writing, easy to read, interesting. Okay? So people will be able to get the information out of your news item in a short period of time, because in modern times everybody is very busy. That's why we talked about the inverted pyramid, where the information, the most important and basic information, goes on top, answering the 5 W's, that is who, what, where, when, why, and other main aspects of the information. And if the person who is reading or has a newspaper can't finish the news, and maybe it'll come up to here, he will always have the basic information because it's organized that way. Okay, we also learned that there are places where there's lots of news coming in or coming out, and these places are called sources of information. They're government offices, the police department, and people in the community that are well connected and generate a lot of news items. We also talked about the notes. Now, it's always good to have in your notes, in your notebook, the information about the sources that gives us the news. Because there are people that we're going to be visiting quite a few times, so we should have their phone numbers, the office numbers, the cellular phone numbers, also the emails, the places where we can find them if they're not exactly at the office. And this way we would be able to confirm something that maybe we weren't exactly sure when we wrote it down. But in any case, remember, as I said before, that the best online journalist is the one who asks the most questions. Because if you're not sure, ask again. If you didn't hear correctly, ask again. If you don't understand the concept, ask again. Okay? The people are giving you the information, don't mind. They are very happy to be sure that the information is coming out in an exact and fair way. Okay? So don't hesitate to ask more. Okay, when you come to the newsroom and begin putting your news together, if you feel there's something that doesn't sound well, that sounds kind of funny, well, either you just don't put it in the information, or you can confirm it with a higher source. You can even Google it to see if there's a coincidence between what Google says and the guy who gave you the information says. So there's many ways to be exactly sure, because don't publish if you're not sure. Okay? I'm going to give you an example of something that happened to me in my journalistic experience. I had a nice lady, and she worked with me in the newspaper, and the city was doing a new park, and in the park they had a little pond. The little pond was supposed to be, you know, for ducks and landscaping a little bit. So in any case, this pond was 1.3 meters deep. That's like 4 feet deep. And she wasn't careful. She didn't write down correctly the numbers, which I said, numbers is one thing you are very easily forgetting, okay? So this person added a 0. She was careless, and she said that the pond was 130 meters deep. Well, to let you know how deep is that, I mean, if you put the Statue of Liberty in that pond, you will only see the torch coming out. So she will drown. So that was terrible for her credibility, and it didn't hurt nobody because it was just something like a little dumb, but it's just an example of that you have to be very careful. You have to be super, ultra, extra careful with all the facts and the data that you publish. 100% sure in everything. Otherwise, you check and recheck and recheck again. Okay? Okay. Now let's say that we did all this homework. We did everything. We did all the news gathering with the informative interviews. And we're going to put together the news with what we have. So I taking my time to do a little drawings here. I'm going to explain them to you. We also said that one of the news sources in a school, high school, university, were the coaches, because the coaches are, in a way, surrounded by lots of championships, activity, interesting things that can happen. So, in your news gathering effort, you go to the main coach, and you see that the main coach has a new t-shirt in his desk. So you ask him, what's this? And he will tell you, this is our first news gathering interview, that it's the new t-shirt. So you write down, new t-shirt for our institution, that it has a tiger in it, that it has new colors, and that this is a part of an effort to make the best team for the season, and that everything is going to be, let's say, open to the eyes of the public in the first match a month ahead, in a month. So then you learn that the design was made by a student from the institution. Let's say it's a school, so this little kid, 9-year-old kid, was the designer. So you go to interview the student that made the design. And as I told you before, also, you draw a line between the two interviews so you are sure you're not mixing up what the coach said with what the student said, okay? Draw a line, very simple. So you interview this guy, the student. He's a 9-year-old. He is very advanced in the art class. And you learn that he has made a mural for the cafeteria. So, and maybe some personal stuff. So, you have the little interview from the designer. Then, you put a line. Then, you go to the cheerleaders, because you learn that the new image has a tiger, and the cheerleaders are doing some strange and nice and interesting thing with tiger movements, okay? So the cheerleaders are doing their thing in the gym. So you interviewed the cheerleaders, and they tell you that who prepared the routine, that they're gonna be having new auditions for the cheerleaders because it's a month's time ahead. And anyway, they give you more information. Then you draw the line. If we want to make it a little bigger and interesting, and we have the time to do it, we can do 5 interviews from the university personnel, students, professors, in general, on their views of the new t-shirt, on the new mascot, and the tiger, and the new colors. Okay? So, anytime you do an interview on a community, on a school, on the workplace, be sure to have the correct ethnic, cultural, age groups of your audience or your community of your school. Why? Because that's the correct way of doing it. I mean, if you have people that are African American, and you have people that are Chinese, and you have people that are skinny, and people that are fat, and people that are tall, and people that are small. So try to do it as good as you can. So don't only interview one group, but every group. So you will have nice opinions about the new image. But at this point, because it's very fast thing, it's going to be just a phrase. So this guy will say, "Oh, I love the tiger." That's it. And this one, and you get a name and the face, a face shot. Okay. This one will say, "I like the new colors," or "the new colors remind me of something." Okay, so very short paragraphs of each, talking about the general information. So let me erase this. I don't want to erase the little pictures here because it took me a lot of time. Okay, remember that when you went to the coach, you took a picture of the coach with a t-shirt, you took a picture of the designer in the art class, you took a picture of the cheerleaders, and you took a mug shot of each of the guys that were interviewing. Okay? So now we have the basic blocks where we can put together the news. Okay, so very easy, very simple. You take the main idea of this news gathering effort, which is basically mainly what the coach said, that there is a new t-shirt for the football team, and it's going to be shown to the public on the first match. So you take those main ideas, that is basically answering the 5 W's, and you put them in the first paragraph or lead paragraph. Second, so let's say make a little arrow here, because it's basically what the coach said. Okay. Then you said, well, this is the basic information, but it's interesting that the t-shirt was designed by a 9-year-old. So you put an interesting fact in the second paragraph, which is this guy here. So you have a very nice lead, which is basically a paragraph that has the basic information and something catchy. Okay? Also, you put some more information, but very, very simple and basic, of the cheerleaders and the efforts that they're doing. So this, I'm going to put a big red thing here. This is the opening. So it's the first 3 paragraphs of the news report, okay? If you want to be organized, I like it better to, I love being organized. You can have very small subtitles, very simple subtitles, 1 or 2 words, opening a new, let's say a new segment. So you can put here, so this is the lead paragraph, you can put here, design by student. And then you do a little segment talking. I mean, you already said that the student was the one in the lead paragraph, but with no details. Here you can say that his name, his full name, his interest, that he did the mural in the cafeteria, that he has a couple of siblings that also do artwork, and so you have here a little 2 or 3 paragraphs, or 4 or 5, depending on the size of the news report you want to do, talking about this guy. Then you want to talk about the cheerleaders, so you will put here new routine. And then you have a segment on the cheerleaders. How many cheerleaders are working, and they have new members, and they rehearse on Saturdays and Mondays and Wednesdays, and all related to the cheerleaders and to the main news, which is the new design. And after that, you can put something, a little title that says maybe something like opinion, or maybe not opinion, something like reactions. Well, anything, any little title regarding simple people, other students talking about the new T-shirt, and each of them have a little photo of their mug, and the simple phrase, as I said before, very simple. You know, like, I like the colors. The tiger is great. Whatever. Very simple. So in this way, you have a very nice news item, like for opening your school paper or your online bulletin or whatever. And remember that I put it this way, but I mean, you have to be aware of what are your needs and also your limitations. Maybe you have less time, maybe if this is going to happen in 4 weeks and you have to make a school paper once a week, maybe you can decide, well, I'm going to have it in 4. And the first week I'm going to talk only about what the coach said. Only. That's the week number 1. Week number 2, I'm going to talk about the design. Week number 3, about the cheerleaders and the routine. And week number 4, just before the game, the people, your classmates, talking about the game and the new mascot, and we're going to go to the football stadium, blah, blah, blah. So it depends on your specific needs, on your specific work schedule and environment, whatever. So this is just an idea. So now, time for the homework. Okay, very simple. Today's homework is very simple. I would say that you should get a newspaper. I think it's easier if it's a paper newspaper. Sounds funny. And And with a marker, you go through the lead paragraph, circle the lead paragraph, circle the interesting part of that news item, circle if it has segments, circle each segment so you can see the different segments and aspects of that news. That will help you learn and compare the way that particular journalist is doing the or putting together the news report, okay?